Coming to you monthly since 2010, this is the TSG Multimedia Podcast about trains, model railroading, and historic preservation. We're sponsored this month by the TSG Train Crew on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/TSG Multimedia for more information. ModelRailroadControlSystems.com, electronics for operations. The Western Pacific Railroad Museum, WPLives.org. Podomatic.com, a podcast hosting and distribution platform. If you'd like to sponsor this program, please email podcast@tsgmultimedia.com.
Welcome. I'm John, the host of this program, which has been released on the first Saturday of every month since 2010. That's a long time and a lot of episodes. To my left right now, there's a list of people who have signed up to help support the work we do here on Patreon. The list grows little by little, but you can make it grow a lot faster by helping us produce the content you enjoy here on the channel. You get sneak peeks and behind-the-scenes stuff in almost real time. Just ask any TSG Train Crew member if they appreciate their membership on the Train Crew, and I bet they'll say yes. By the way, did you know that TSG Multimedia has a secondary channel? It's called TSG Channel 2, and on that channel, I've been posting videos that are about really everything other than trains for years. I've published about 800 videos to that channel, and they cover a variety of really eclectic topics: how-to videos, life hacks, game reviews, nature videos, day trip programs about various places to visit in the region where I live, vintage TV ads, and a lot more. Well, I'm mentioning this because I got an email from YouTube recently informing me that they intend to demonetize that channel. The channel does not generate a whole lot of income for us, but it would matter a lot if we lost that stream. So I'm asking you, the best viewers on YouTube, if you would be so kind as to take a look at that channel and watch some of the videos there. The problem YouTube had with the channel is the amount of view time that it gets. If each and every subscriber to this main channel watched only 5 or 10 minutes of content on Channel 2 each month, we would have more than enough views to keep the monetization active there indefinitely. I always ask people to join us on Patreon, and I know that not everyone can do that because it costs money. So this is something that anyone can do for free to help us keep things going here. So I'm asking you to please visit the channel using the link on this video's description and watch as much of the content there as you can. I'm sure you can find a playlist with programs that you'll find interesting. Thank you very much. Now on with the podcast.
Hi, I think this is the first update for June, what did it say, the 6th or something? I don't even know what today is. June something.
The 6th, yeah.
June 6th. And I'm here with my friend Kevin.
Howdy.
Hey. And we're going somewhere today to check out a train thing. And what is it, Kevin?
We are going to the Redwood Valley Railway in Orinda.
Yeah.
Up above Berkeley. It's a 15-inch gauge railroad. And they're having their annual meet, I guess they call it, this weekend. So they're supposed to have all their steam locomotives running, as well as a couple of guest engines from the Hillcrest and Watoki, where we were earlier this year.
Yeah, we've been there. We chased little tiny trains there.
Yeah.
So, and you've been to this place many times.
Many times, yeah.
This will only be my second time there, but it'll be nice though, because we both know people that run the trains there.
Yep.
And people probably going to be there from other places as well, because when these 15-inch gauge sort of, they're not amusement rides, but
grand scale.
Yeah.
I think you call it grand scale. Yeah.
When people do their grand scale stuff, people come from all over the place. So if it's a meet, then there's probably going to be people from Colorado there, could be people from Oregon or Washington. They come from everywhere. And you see people that, from all over the place at these things. And what's funny to me is, you'll find people at these things that work on larger, well-known narrow gauges like Durango and Silverton, right? All these guys, well, not all of them, but most of these guys, or a lot of these guys, got their start in grand scale.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure that even Ed Dickens, who runs the Union Pacific Steam Department, also got his start in grand scale many, many years ago. So pretty sure about that. You'll have to ask him about that if you ever see him.
Well, we've made it to Tilden Park, and there's a train coming. So this is Dave Peterson behind me here. He's been an engineer here for a long time, and I met Dave officially for the first time at the West Side reunion this year, where he gave a really, really good talk about the Madera Sugar Pine Lumber Company. Well, he told me he was going to be here today, so part of the reason I came was to accept his invitation, and he just got done giving me a ride around on the cab, which I've never done at this railroad before. But
this is like best job I can think of, especially for a retirement job. Like they pay me to do this. I can't believe it. So come up and ride. This is a wonderful place to ride, and we have a great ride. We run every weekend and weekdays through the summer, and then every holiday except for Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Well, it's a little bit later, and we're going to ride the train one more time. As you can see, we're loaded up here.
Okay, so we're almost back, at least to where I'm going to get dropped off. Kevin's still going the rest of the way
more
to
miles.
Yeah, the rest of the way to Hollister. But thanks for going. Thanks for picking me up. And had a good time. And maybe I had a grand time.
It was a cool thing, like we'd never been to this meet before, and it's like a mini hill crest.
Kind of, yeah. So Hillcrest, in case you don't know or haven't seen it, once a year out in Reedley, California, they have a huge meetup of 15-inch gauge equipment. I've featured it on this channel for many years. I realize sometimes when people are watching or listening to the podcast, it's the first time, or maybe they haven't been watching for years. But yeah, it's a lot like that because you had a visiting equipment.
And two engines from Hillcrest here today, as a matter of fact.
Right, some of the same people, right? Yep. I saw Sean from Hillcrest here. So anyway, it was a good time. And if you have a chance to get out to Reedley and check out their operation there, it's a pretty cool place. So thank you, sir.
Yeah.
This is June 17th, and we just finished our Talking Trains show for the month. That was Dave Adams here talking about, well, really all of us talking about narrow gauge. And it was a really, I think, fun stream. Was there anything, Murph, that you learned or that you thought was interesting about it?
So I hate to say this. The one thing that I really wanted to ask about that kind of isn't about narrow gauge is, what is your time management strategy? I really want to have an episode on that because it sounds like Dave has just done so much stuff and so many projects. And he mentioned several other people where I'm like, how do you get organized like that?
Dave, what's your time strategy? Your time management?
My time strategy is to get time at that workbench in every day, no matter what. I mean, that's...
Yeah, and just do it, right?
Yeah, even if it's just 10 minutes getting one part on, that's a victory for the day, and then you got something done. And
okay.
And every time I finish at the workbench after a long session, I always tell Carla, I says, boy, that was fun. I wish I would do that more often. I mean, I just love sitting at the bench building stuff. It's just... So time management is...
Okay.
I think it's self-reinforcing. I don't have schedules. Well, I'm retired now, so,
Yeah, but you're busy, though. Everyone's layout that doesn't need it anymore, if you know what I mean. Yeah. This guy's helping get rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm inspired, and it seems I've kind of been falling into that pattern. Hopefully it will flourish, as yours evidently has. So
worked out really well. The other thing, too, is... open houses are a great motivator to get things done. So once you get on open house tours, whether it's PCR or narrow gauge conventions or layout design OPSIG or whatever else is, now you're saying, oh, geez, I got to have something new. And so that really lights a fire under you. To get that, what's new. I'm at the point where the railroad is 99% done. So I'm not chasing after what's new anymore.
Right.
We're just going to have fun with it.
I feel like we have another show topic brewing here.
I think we do.
We're going to have to come up with that.
But for the time being, this was fascinating. And seeing the amazing work that Dave showed from various models around the country, it made this episode really worthwhile.
Yeah, so check it out if you have time. It's, all of these shows are available on what I call the replay, which means they go out live, but they're there forever.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming, Dave, and doing this. I had a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for inviting me.
We'll do it. We should do it again. I really enjoyed myself. And thanks to you, too, sir, for being the Guillermo on the spot.
I may not be the Guillermo you wanted, but I'm the Guillermo you needed.
So, in case it's not obvious, I've driven to Roaring Camp this morning. They're getting a bunch of stuff ready for the run today. And while I was at it, I got a couple shots of, number 7, the Sonora, which I haven't seen in a semi-assembled state in a long time. But today's activity is going to be riding on the beach train. I've spoken with Engineer Hill, who invited me to come out here today and take a look at the CF7s from the inside once again. So that's the noise in the background. It's a CF7 running. They just started it. Oh, and there's Engineer Hill.
Sweet. Center.
And the bridge is clear.
So we've made it to Santa Cruz. It's a bit later, and the tradition here is when I come ride the train with Kevin, we get corn dogs at the boardwalk. So we got and garlic fries. We got our corn dog and our garlic fries, and we're actually shooting a video about CF7s today. This was something that Kevin decided was appropriate because there's a bunch of manufacturers coming out with CF7 models these days. And so the interest, I think, is there. And Kevin happens to know a bit about CF7 locomotives because, well, he likes CF7s and he's been operating them here at Roaring Camp for, what, 5 or 6 years now? 6 years now. So he knows a little bit of something, and having been an engineer for as long as he has a lot of experience operating other engines as well. So should be an interesting program, and maybe if I can, I'll get him to say something on the podcast about what he's envisioning the program to be like.
Well, hopefully we can educate people on these unique machines a little bit. They are very unique locomotives. They were nicknamed the Claiborne Curse by the Santa Fe Mechanical Department. We'll talk a little bit about that and why that came about. But they are very good engines for us here. They do exactly what we need them to do, and they're very ergonomic units as well. Conductors, other engineers.
So this is a little bit later, and we're on our way to the area where Roaring Camp picks up the people who are riding the Beats train to Santa Cruz from Felton. And if you've never taken the Beats train, this is a really nice ride. I was talking to our fireman here today, Don. We were talking about how we like this because you go through dense redwood forest, you go over a steel bridge, you go over a wooden trestle, we have a tunnel, we have street running, we have wigwags, and the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk to top it all off. I mean, what ride could be better than that? It's pretty cool. So anyway, we're halfway through the day. We're about to start the second run down to Santa Cruz, and along the way, Kevin and I have been filming little bits and pieces for the video about the CF7s. So it's pretty fun. It's pretty good. I'm having fun. Here, do that whole climb it up bit again. Okay. And say, so when you climb up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So when you climb up,
we have Dan here from last time you were on, I think was on a Chasing Trains episode. So he's a conductor here at Roaring Camp. What do you think? You'll have to tell people what you think, but you have to get closer so they can hear you.
Think about what?
Come tell them.
Think about what?
That's it? What do you think? Are you having fun?
I'm having fun. It's always good to see John. It's good to see you guys. You better subscribe.
Now you know he's lying to you about everything because he said he wants to see me.
I'm not paid to think. I go back and forth. Thinking's his job.
Oh, so you just push you're the monkey.
Yeah,
You push the buttons.
that's right.
That's why I like doing the engineer job when I'm doing the op sessions, because I want someone else to do all the figuring stuff out and I just get to play.
Well, you're also not smart enough, John.
That's true. I'm not smart enough. You heard it from him. So we've returned to Roaring Camp, and this is the CF7 that I was riding in all day. And we've finished. The beach train's done for the day. All the happy passengers are back to their destinations. And that's it for this podcast update. And we'll catch you on the next one. I'm back again because something I found up here in the parking lot that looks like this. You might remember Charlie from Chasing Trains and other things that we've done on the channel here. But Charlie has something that he wanted to show me. That's why I have my earplugs in. And we're going to show you what it is right now. But I'm going to have him explain it to you first.
So that right there behind my chainsaw is a 3D printed whistle. I saw a YouTube video where a guy designed it over the last couple of years. And he actually designed a plastic whistle that runs on air that replicates the sound of a Santa Fe 6 chime.
Cool.
And my friend Dale printed it out for me, and I glued it all together, made sure all the chambers were sealed correctly, and actually sounds pretty good. Here.
We're going to hear this thing. Hold on a second. On a bug.
On a Volkswagen, of all things. It really helps getting people out of my way when they're merging on the highway doing 35.
Let's take a look at this thing.
I love it.
And it sounds really good.
Sounds like a big old Santa Fe 484 coming at you. And then this thing comes around the corner.
On the 21st of June, we released a new video featuring retired conductor brakeman Mike Osborne demonstrating some advanced level switching on his layout. This video was the first Model Railroading 201 episode ever, and it went semi-viral for a few days right when it was published. The response to it has been really good. Lots of comments and questions. That tells me that a lot of people like it. Well, I have some great news. When we recorded that video, we also recorded a bunch of what YouTube calls shorts. The shorts we recorded are all about operations, and they cover railroad terminology for operators, especially new operators, to help demystify the language that gets used during real railroad operations and, of course, model railroad op sessions. We call this series of shorts TSG's Trackside Terminology Tips. Super huge thanks to Mike, Grecian Formula Osborne, for offering his knowledge and experience for our benefit. You can catch these shorts every Tuesday through the beginning of September. What's even better is that we have some tentative plans to record more Model Railroading 201 videos and shorts next time we get together. So thanks, Mike. This is really something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and you're the right guy to provide that information. Hi, we've come to Ray Turner's Mystic Mountain Garden Railroad today for a rare midweek op session. And Ray's Mystic Mountain is a video that you can find actually on the channel. We did a full layout tour here a while back, and since then Ray has really pared down the layout. It used to run all the way across his entire backyard and here on his side yard, and now it's mostly just here on his side yard behind me. And this is also an episode of You Never Know Who You'll Run Into, because someone just pulled up.
Hey,
You never know who you're going to run into.
that's right.
Who is this guy?
Somebody's going to run into you.
What are you doing here?
I don't know. I was hired on to move some boxcars around, I think.
Oh, well, that's what we're going to do then. As I was mentioning, Ray has pared down. The layout used to start over here, and this was called Providence Yard. And it went all along there. That's downtown San Jose in the background. And then there was a town over here that was called Red River, I think, or Red Rocks. I don't remember which. And then it came along here, and there was a lumber mill, a bunch of some industries over here. And then there was a tunnel on the other side of this little peninsula. And then there was a bridge over there, over that gap. And then there was a place over here called Outoluck. All that stuff is gone. And it's confined basically to over where they're standing behind Sydney, and then to around that corner there, which was all part of the layout before. And like I said before, you could see a whole layout tour of how the layout used to be. You never know who you might run into. Who is this guy? Oh, hi, Tom.
Hey, John.
Yeah, it's the T in BLT.
Yeah.
You've been putting the T in BLT for years now.
Well, it's my lot in life.
What are you doing here?
I'm running trains.
Yeah?
Today I'm switching out the cars from a freight that just arrived at Newton, and I'm now classifying and spotting all the cars.
Nice. And this place is called Newton.
This town is called Newton.
Yeah. This didn't used to be here. This was something else. I don't remember what this was. Was this the end? This was the end of Outoluck. Because this cut in the wall didn't used to be here that I remember.
That's right, it did not.
And there was a Y over here.
There was a sawmill.
Yeah.
In this location right here.
Wait, was the sawmill here or was the sawmill over there? I think the sawmill was over there.
It was over there, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was the bridge with the Y.
Yeah, somewhere right in here was a bridge with a Y.
Yeah.
It was like Ray's Ketty, kind of.
Yeah, it's Ray's Ketty Y.
What do you like most about operating here?
Oh my gosh, so many things to mention. First of all, I love bashing around big cars.
Yeah. Garden scale operations is kind of unusual, I think.
It is.
It's a lot of fun.
Most people just build garden roundies, and this is an actual operating railroad right along the lines of what we do over at Dave's, and what we do on my railroad too, as a matter of fact.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Oh, funny you should mention that. I have an op session coming up I want to invite you to.
Oh, how convenient when I mentioned it.
No, I thought about inviting you for a while.
I wouldn't have.
Well, the other thing is, you can't beat the backdrop here.
Yeah, the view is something I always really enjoy. Let's take a look at that view.
Please.
That is just so nice. Is there anything else, or is that the things that you like the most about operating here?
The thing I like the most is the people.
Of course. That's what we always like the most.
Yeah.
I figure that goes without saying.
Yeah, but it doesn't hurt to say it.
Yeah, we come because the trains are cool and everything, but it's an excuse to hang out, so, right?
Yep, really good excuse.
So the way Ray has reorganized his layout, there's a whole bunch of switching districts, and they all have a good variety of facing point and trailing point work to do. And so we're working a job now in an area called Newton where Tom was before. And what's cool about this job is we have 2 engines that we can work with. We have that little one, number 8, and then over here we have the number 2, so that I can switch to using this engine when it makes sense to do so. So there's not a bunch of running around the equipment to handle the trailing point and facing point setouts. So this is actually a really cool solution to a rather tight and complicated switching district. And that's the Conductor. So it's June 27th, and this is the annual open house for baggers at the San Benito Southern. This is the Garden Railroad that Kevin and Curtis Hill have out here in Hollister. And we're going to show you some really cool stuff that Kevin has worked on here. Not on the layout, but on the equipment. That'll be on a podcast update today. Wait, we have a really good crash here. Engineer Hill, I think we're going to have to issue you a piss test.
Yeah, I got to stop drinking and running.
Yeah. And it's only morning right now, too. So the question is, are you still drunk from last night, or are you drunk from drinking this morning?
I had a few breakfast beers.
Yeah. A couple eye-openers, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good crash. I don't know if I've ever seen one this good here. That caboose went all the way over.
Killed the crew.
Yeah. This is kind of cool. Usually my number 9 there, the Climax, pulls just one log car. I don't remember if we even put a caboose on it. But it pulled just one log car, and the log car was so heavy that it would run the battery down within about 2 hours. So we have a longer train that, in theory, should be actually lighter than the log car. So I should actually be able to run longer today than normal. In any case, I have my battery charger with me, so I'll expect to be charging the engine soon. TSG number 9 took its first major spill today. I hope it didn't break anything, Kevin.
Yeah.
Because now I need to take the drug test. This is one of those episodes of you never know who you're going to run into. Murph showed up at the open house today. And, well, you know Kevin. He's going to be showing us some stuff later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit about some of the changes on the layout here.
Should be a fun episode. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
But since you're here, though, Murph, you can tell the people what you because you've never been here before. So you can tell the people what you thought of the layout.
This is an amazing layout. What a great spot to have for your backyard. And you've got really nice vegetation in here. It kind of is like the epitome of what I like to see in a garden railroad, where it ties in the garden with the railroad and everything else. It doesn't disrupt the property at all. It looks great, and there's some really wonderful modeling on this layout.
Yeah, the tracks apart.
It just fell off.
It totally rolled off right there on the curb.
I don't think I've ever seen so many wrecks on this railroad.
Yeah. So we killed everybody at the park.
Yes, you did. Yes.
It's been a good day. The weather today was just perfect for this. It's still, 75 degrees maybe. There's a nice cool breeze. It's really relaxing out here. And the trains are still running. We were just talking about some of the modifications that, Kevin, that you made.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly to equipment,
Mostly to equipment. Did paint the Tres Pinos depot again just to freshen it up. The speeder in our speeder shed has changed this year. Before I had a USA Trains speeder in there, which is actually a model of a standard gauge speeder. And I found a little company that makes 3D printed Fairmont speeders. Comes as a kit, and you paint it and assemble it. And I bought that kit and assembled it, and it looks a lot better in the speeder shed. It's an earlier narrow gauge speeder. And then, of course, the big modification that we did this year is 2 of our locomotives are now battery powered.
Right, that didn't have battery power before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
John's locomotive that he's been bringing here the past few years really cemented in the need for battery power on this railroad, because we would have years here for the open house where John's engine would be the only thing on the layout running. And in fact, this morning when we got started, we opened up this morning at 10 o'clock, and I had initially set up to run my track-powered Shay along with the battery Heisler on the top line and with John's engine. Well, the problem was that the track-powered Shay kept finding the dirty track spots and stalling out, and then the battery engines that just keep running were crashing into it.
That was one of our spectacular crashes.
So, the decision was made 30 minutes into our open house today to nix the track-powered locomotive for the day and just run the battery engines. So that's what we did here. The first engine that I converted to battery was a Bachmann Davenport gas switcher. And I actually converted that to Blue Nami last year, and it was running on track power with Blue Nami. And it has the 2200 series Blue Nami decoder in it, which is actually for like HO and S scale. But that locomotive's so small, that's all it really needs. So I decided to convert that engine to battery first. So I ordered the battery for it. And of course, the engine's being so small, there's no space in the locomotive to put the battery. So I elected to have a battery car behind the locomotive. And what I found was on Etsy a 3D printed kit for a narrow gauge fire car, little 2-axle fire car like you would have seen on a logging railroad. And I said, well, that's perfect. I can put the battery in the water tank. And then as I was building the kit, I found that I could have one end of the tank hinged so that if I ever have to get in there and access the battery, I can just open the end of the tank and get inside and access the electronics in there. Now the tank has a water hatch on the top, and I decided that's where the charging plug was going to go for the battery. I countersunk holes in the lid for the water hatch and put little magnets in them, and then I drilled screws into the bottom of where the hatch is, and it magnets on top right there to cover the charging plug. Looks real good. I purchased a Blue Nami decoder for my Heisler, and my initial plan was to just put the track power Blue Nami in it for this year and then do the battery conversion later. But I had bought extra batteries for the Davenport, so I decided, what the heck, I'll just throw a battery in it while I'm in here and make the charging circuit and all that, might as well. And it was running happily on the railroad for about 15 minutes, and then it burned up the decoder. There was a little metal weight in the tender. I thought that might have touched some wires or something in there and shorted it out. So I threw another decoder in it, ran it around. This time it ran for about 5 minutes and burned up the decoder. All right, something's going on here. So I talked to our good friend Trevor. Tri-tip, yeah. And said, hey, this Heisler's burning up decoders. What do you think's going on? And he says, well, a lot of the early Bachmann DCC ready locomotives had these little circuit boards soldered to the motor, and these were supposed to reduce the electrical noise going back to the decoder. And the early DCC decoders that were made when this Heisler was made about 20 years ago now required that. They needed that. But the new DCC decoders are monitoring the back EMF current that's coming off of the motors as they're running. And with those boards in place, it sends about 10 amps back through the decoder, which the decoder doesn't really like that. So I went into the trucks, really easy. There's a red wire coming into the board and a red wire coming out of the board, and a black wire coming into the board and a black wire coming out of the board. You just cut the wires off the board, solder the red to the red, the black to the black, and get rid of the board. The batteries that I have for these are 4 amp hour batteries. They seem to be working pretty good, but I did set them up so that when the battery dies, I can unplug the battery, pop another battery into it, plug it back in, and keep going without having to take the engine out of service for any extended amount of time. So that worked out pretty good. I did change the battery in the Heisler once. The Davenport has been running all day long on the same battery. And this railroad has some incredible grades on it, so that's pretty good.
It's been a great day.
Yeah, we had a good time running trains and had some spectacular wrecks.
Yep, which are documented here on the video. So,
and the Heisler performed well. It didn't catch on fire.
Yep. The Climax did okay.
Yeah.
I do need to look into getting a more robust battery for it, though, because it only lasts about 2 hours, and I would like to get more out of it than that, because I can't just swap batteries like the way you do.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, that's it from San Benito Southern. Thanks for having us out again. And,
cheers.
Well, you got the important stuff. That's it for the update. Thanks for watching. Yesterday, after the session was over, the open house was over, we were talking, and I had this epiphany that I think is worth mentioning, which is battery power on really any railroad is great because you don't have to clean track and there's no problems with track, really. I mean, except the normal sort of physical problems you might have with derailments or picking switches or switches that don't operate because something got stuck in the points or whatever. But the point I want to make is that when you're on track power, the train stops because it loses power and it can't really do anything spectacular like the overturned, falling over off the bridge type of stuff we had yesterday on the Garden Railroad. Because I mentioned that, it's like, boy, we had a lot of spectacular crashes. And that's what the epiphany I had was, well, everything that crashed was also on battery power because the train doesn't know that the track came apart under it or that it derailed. It just keeps going. So it just happened that every derailment that we had that resulted in a spectacular crash happened on a hill or a bridge. So, and they were all in that same area, kind of near the town where the lower loop is. So I guess there is a drawback, if you want to call it that, to battery power. And I say if you want to call it that because surprisingly, these garden scale locomotives are really durable. I mean, stuff tumbled down a foot off of an embankment and rolled over a couple times and crashed into stuff. And the detail parts on the engine were still fine. I mean, they needed a little straightening, but it was still fine. Like mine had a pretty serious crash and there was no damage to the engine. The smokestack came off, but it just sticks back on. So there was nothing really that had to be repaired per se. So anyway, I just want to thank Kevin and Curtis for having us out. This is one of the events that happens every year when we go help at the San Benito Southern. And it's just a really great excuse to hang out and spend the day with friends. And, their family has become like family to me. Like, all the uncles and aunts come over and I know all of them. So it's nice to see them. It's about once a year I get to see them as well. And they're just super nice people. So thanks, Curtis and Kevin. And, I guess look forward to doing it again next year. The catch of the month this month is a series of videos by Lucas Woodward from Down Under showing several different gauges. The first shot comes from Puffing Billy on April 25th as 8A hauls the first train of the day from Belgrave to Lakeside, climbing up Emerald Bank, which is the steepest grade on the railway at just over 3%. We move from Puffing Billy at 2-foot 6-inch gauge to 5-foot 3-inch gauge with this shot of the Victorian Goldfields Railway as 1954 consolidation J549 arrives into the terminus of Malden on Saturday, May 9th. That same day, Steam Rail Victoria runs a mainline tour from Melbourne to Bendigo and return, with 1951 R-Class Hudsons, R711 and R761, connecting at Castlemaine each way with J549's train. On the return trip, we see the R-Class engines climb Chewton Bank near Castlemaine as they head back to Melbourne. The experience of these two engines pulling a 13-car train on a cold autumn night is something Lucas said he'll never forget. Back to 3-foot 6-inch narrow gauge. This shot comes from Tasmania's capital city of Hobart as the Tasmanian Transport Museum's M5 hauls a special train over the former suburban line, which was closed in 2014. A 3-mile section of the track is now operated by the museum, with a total of 10 miles to be restored over the next 5 years. If you have a train or model catch you'd like to share, please email it to podcast@tsgmultimedia.com. Be sure you own the shots and include the what's, when's, and where's of the shots you send in. So that's it for this update. Please remember to visit TSG Channel 2 and help us keep that channel monetized. It'll take quite a few of us to get the view hours up to where it needs to be, So if you can, please have it playing in the background when you do your modeling, or maybe watch some relaxing nature videos when you go to sleep. They're conveniently placed into playlists that you can navigate to and hit play while you fade off to sleep. You'll be glad you did, so will I, and it'll help us keep our monetization active. Thank you so much for watching and listening this month, and we'll see you next time.
TSG train crew members get behind-the-scenes access and sneak previews in 4K ultra-high definition. Go to patreon.com/TSG Multimedia for more information.